Hey chat, how are we doing today? Also, I'm just gonna quickly. I'm gonna remove this one from the playlist. Where is this song? Okay, I better not fail this. Please remove that from the stream songs. Oh no, I just feel it weird that this particular song is not only shown up so often, but it's even the playlist at all to begin with, considering it has lyrics. Alright, let's just get rid of that one. Alright, just pull that down a bit. Okay, back to animation stuff today. So I've been doing some animation stuff off stream, and my god, is my ass getting kicked for this. Like, just unequivocally just getting stopped. But, I've also noticed something else too. So, we got 4 different... Sorry, just YouTube... The YouTube screen that I have up is still going. Hey, Likely, how you doing? So I've noticed something, right? And this is probably the same for all of these previous animations I've done. Where is it? So, like, all of these ones I've done previously. So these are all the same size. Now, normally, that wouldn't matter. However, looking at this, I've got 2 balls that are actually probably considerably small. I wish I could pause this. It's probably like 3/4 of the size at most for these ones. And then this one's actually double the size. But I am 90% certain that all the rest of these I just have the wrong size for as well. So, say for instance this one here, which I have got, where is it? Practice, and I'll pop part 2 one so y'all can see this. Also, I don't know why, but I have like, on my left screen, it's just a dead pixel. But like, if I rub at it, it just leaves. Like, huh? Like, I have to be slightly further down, but like, it just disappears the second I touch the screen, so I have no idea what's going on there. So, yeah, these ones are already the correct size, but I'm pretty sure this one's actually, and this one's slightly smaller. Like, I can't be imagining that shit. But regardless, like, that's a cheeky little prank to play on me. Like, if I'd not had a second look at it right before stream, I would have just had those all be the same size. So, I'm going to scale this down to maybe 2 seems reasonable for this. I'm scaling it around the root bone so the sizing stays consistent, so it actually stays on the floor. Now, this one I want to be starting slightly further up. Also, the camera is slightly zoomed out, but in this case, I don't think it matters. Okay. Actually, do I really want to scale that here? I could probably scale it in pose mode to be a smarter idea. Yeah, because then I can just Alt-G, Alt-R, and Alt-S all this if I need to. And then this one, scale that down. Memes of Heaven, how you doing? I'll be honest, not doing the greatest, but I certainly could be doing worse. How you doing? I'm currently going to be suffering in terms of animation. And this one, I need to make sure it's close mode. Now, is this any smaller than the... Okay, it's actually the same size. So, scale that back down. And this one is double the size of one of these, so... Thereabouts? Yeah. That looks a bit more consistent. Also, I just realized I scaled that object in mode and not pose mode. Alright, how far off are we? Okay, so all of these need to be raised up a bit. Okay, so the blue one's good. The orange one and the red one could stand to be slightly higher, though. Just a smidge. You made some swords earlier, right? Did I make swords earlier? I think you might have me confused with someone else. Like, in your earlier streams. I don't think so. Did I make swords in my earlier streams? Sorry, my memory is absolute dog water. It was missing no animation practice. Huh, my bad if I got you wrong. Yeah, if it was me, it must have been a really long while back, but I don't think I've ever made swords on stream. Like, I have 3D modeled swords in the past, but certainly not on stream. Like, I had Masingno animation, Drider, back to animation, then there was the previous, this last week, which was the random 3D models, and now we're back to animation. Haven't slept, maybe I'm deluluing. Yeah, I feel that on a spiritual level. I do not blame you in the slightest. Let's start with this one. Probably be the easiest. Also, why are all these... Okay, I'm just wondering why all... Like, literally every single one of these is offset on the y-axis that... I have no idea how this keeps happening. Like... You would think that the person who made these course files would double check that, you know? Save this to the... Here. Let's see. Check the origin, maybe the origin is offset. No, this is in pose mode. The origin itself, like if you check it in object mode, it's completely normal. I recently made swords, but for my robots, it might have been likely. And this is... Yeah, because if I go into object mode, all of these are properly set in the y-axis. It's literally just in pose mode that this happens. I have no idea how he's managed to do this either, because this has happened on basically, I think, every single project file I've gotten from him so far. Now, I do know for an absolute fact this one does not get affected on anything other than the z-axis. But those are IRL and made of shite steel. Honestly, like, the fact that you work with steel is pretty impressive in the first place. I'm gonna give this 40. Alright. And I forgot to set up the king. Whoopsies. King, and back to available. Master Blacksmith? For real, though. Like, actually, I forgot to... I was gonna show this, I think, a couple of streams ago. But, have any of y'all seen my attempt at blacksmithing, and more specifically my attempt at making a computer case? And I'm gonna pull this up. So, y'all gonna have to excuse the dust for this, because this is quite an old computer monitor. So, I cut open an IKEA Helmer filing cabinet, and sadly, no, just a mediocre machinist. Honestly, much better than what I can do. So I cut open an IKEA Helmer and put computer components inside. So this is what constitutes a render node setup for me. Because I have... So 3 of these drawers are filled. I tried to do the other 3 like a week or so back, but the power supplies didn't fit. So now I've just got 3 whole ass computer cases that are fitted, but they're not set up properly. So I've only got 3 working ones at the moment. But yes, this is an entire computer setup inside of an IKEA Helmer. And in case if anyone is wondering, yes, the cable management is as much of a fucking nightmare as you think it is. Also, don't worry, I put 3D printed vents on the front so stuff doesn't, like, enter in through the holes. Looks good to me. Can I just say how much of an absolute bitch is? So, this section here, where all the ports are, in order to plug anything in, you have to remove the rails from the drawer directly underneath. You have to try and get your fingers in and plug in the cables from there. There's only like maybe an inch and a half of space at most. Okay, didn't see the ports? Yeah. I could buy a soda with that extra copper. Yeah, you could do. But anyway, that's like not the point of the stream. Like, the point of the stream is to, you know, do 3D modeling. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do 7 frames in between. That much. 8. Oh yeah, I should also pull up the so it's going. So I want this to be roughly less than half. So it's probably around about there. So how many bounces is this one? So yeah, that's definitely a 40%. Yeah, I can work with that. G. Let's start with these for now. Vector. Start snapping these along. These actually need to be around the individual sections, not around the box. Let's snap this one. Snap this one. Sharpen that. These ones up, and we should have a good amount of bounce from these first 3, hopefully. Okay, it's a great start. That intro does need to be a bit. Actually, I should probably recalculate this to be a round frame. Okay, that's not bad. I might change the calculate on this to be slightly less. Let's do fine for both of these. And update that. Maybe slightly less sharp. Okay, that's a bit better. Because I feel like it felt like it was teleporting a little bit down the bottom. I feel like this is maybe too fast here. Okay, that is slightly better. So I feel like the lower down it gets, it probably needs to have less time taken off of it in general. I think I might have. Oh, this great one. That's supposed to be big. That's why it's so weird. Oh, not all of them. Just the one. Thanks. That's probably. Actually, these two probably need to be. I'll give that a try. Oh, something's going weird there. Ah, okay, that one's not going down far enough. Because that's like 60% instead of 40. Grab these. Down. Snap that in a bit. Now this one as well. So that's like that. That also consequently needs to be pulled down a bit. Okay, that's a lot better. I was just like, hang on, why does this look so weird? And then I realized, oh right, that's probably not the way that a ball should bounce. This thing isn't attached to an atomic trampoline or anything. Okay, can I just say that I really want to get an atomic trampoline at some point? Like, I don't even know how you go about getting one. All I know is they're not as easy to purchase as they once were. So if I'm going to get one, I'd probably have to get one specially made. Make sure that this is vectored, even though I keep inadvertently grabbing the wrong thing. The one that's easier to make than buy, that could be a lot of things. Including radioactive glass, as it turns out. Can you make? If there's a recipe, it doesn't come up immediately. But if it's one of those things that's sold a lot less often than it used to be, then yeah, most likely. Yeah. Yep, slightly. At this point, it's probably just easier to make a non-keyframe bounce rather than making keyframe ones. If I recall correctly, Nile Red made one since he couldn't find it. Yeah, that's the same thing with the radioactive glass. Like, that man finds just the most bizarre things to try and make, which I mean, respectable. He is a chemist. However, some of the ingredients that he buys would probably get just about everyone put on a list, so I think it'd be a lot better just to watch and make said atomic trampoline, to be honest. And let's see right here. Grab the sounds. Okay, I think that's acceptable. Actually, that might be. Alright, time to do an invisible bounce, I guess. So, we'll keep it here. And I want to make this a free handle. Make these two free as well. But I actually want to... What would be the quickest way to fix this? Vector? Yeah. Ah, yes, it's a song again. I have no idea why this is still on the playlist. Probably just because it's funny. Alright, so this should make the stuff a lot better. Yeah. That looks so much nicer. Now what's going to be the next easiest thing to do? Probably the bounce on this particular bowling ball would make the most sense. Because, like, even though this is still going to be... What in the fuck is the name of that song, and why is that playing when I come in? Hey, Foxy, how you doing? Oh, every time that particular song comes on. And, like, I know technically there's nothing wrong with me saying the name of it on Twitch. I am still streaming to YouTube as well. Is this a sign? No, it is not. Foxy, cease. Do I need to get out the spray bottle and the bat? Come on. Like, do I need to be dual wielding at this point? Okay, and insert keyframe for that and that. I'll just keyframe both of these. What was the song? Okay, I'm gonna say it once. Just so then YouTube doesn't get too triggered at me. Actually, how far are we along the stream so far? Okay, 30 minutes. Nobody's gonna watch the stream for 30 minutes for me to say this shit. The song's called So Sex. Hey, don't look at me. I ain't the one who had the song playing. Listen, I technically didn't either. I have this as background music. I just grabbed all the songs that I had available to me and put them into one playlist. And I'll even prove this, chat. Like, I'll prove this right now. I have a playlist called Stream Chaos Time with every single song from Dark Fantasy Studio that I have the rights to use. And that includes, like, that particular album, too. Which album is this? Is it Chuck Kickass? No, it's not. Which one is it? Because I know there's a whole album dedicated to this goddamn thing. If I figure it out in the middle of the stream, I'll tell y'all, but yeah, like, I just have this going in the background. Like, I'm as much of a victim to this as the rest of y'all are. Also, I need to insert a keyframe here. Oh, god damn it. I did the thing again, chat. I accidentally keyframe to object mode as opposed to pose mode. Every time, without fail. Like, I keep switching between these expecting that it's going to stay in pose mode, but no, it just goes to object mode. Like, bruh. For real, just bruh. Okay, insert keyframes here, and on this frame, I want to do object. Okay, got all those going. Chuck Kickass, yeah. There's like a lot of songs with these weird ass names. Like, it's not exclusive to just that one. Now this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one wants to be much lower. Also, chat, can I just say the unimaginable happened yesterday? I started playing Cookie Run Kingdom for the first time. If you like your free time, I recommend you don't try it. But, yeah, I was like, I've seen so many people playing this game recently, I might as well give it a try and see how I feel. And I just got absolutely busted within the, like, first 5 minutes. I was just like, okay, I'll just go through as much of the game as possible, see how far I can get. And then probably here as well. How many frames are there on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move this over 1. Can my family please relax on the door? Never will, don't you need to worry about that one? Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, the game is... I suppose there's, like, a decent gameplay loop to be had, but... like, I'm looking at this game, I'm just like... First of all, why is there everybody just trying to bang one of the cookies from this game? And second of all, what is with the biblically accurate fan art? Like, I have never seen a game be, like, have fan art so horrifyingly biblically accurate in my life. I'm sorry, what? Yeah. So, like, when I say biblically accurate, I do truly mean that. Like, people, biblically accurate cookies, like, no kidding. I'm gonna search this up. Like, where is... It's like some of the most just egregious stuff that you could think of. Where is it? I can't find any, I can't find any good images of these. But, like, I was on Tumblr the other day, and I don't know how or why it ended up in, like, my For You recommendations, but it was, like, the most... So, I'll lay it out like this. It was a rendition of, like, what you'd expect to see as a piece of art from the Bible, and it was, like, a man being wrapped in, like, the wings from like a throne's angel. And I looked at the tags, it was fucking Cookie Run Kingdom tagged. I was like, huh? Like, if I ever saw art like that, I wouldn't assume funny mobile game. I'd think, oh, wait, this is probably from some verse of the Bible that I haven't seen yet. Like, how do people even... Like, this is one of the factors where I'm less concerned about the shipping and more concerned about the original fan art. I'm less concerned about the shipping. And that takes a lot. So this probably needs to be a bit lower, actually, if I want to get away with this. Like, I could release my entire bibliography of lore accurate CSMP fan work that I made over the years, and it would not hold a candle to some of the shit you see in that fandom. And that's coming from somebody who wrote Herobrine quite literally ripping the head off of a creeper and just watching the gunpowder spill out of its neck. Like, I wrote stuff like this for this particular, like, SMP. And even that pales in comparison. Like, what? Also, nobody tell Charles that I said that, okay? He doesn't need to know about that one. Okay, so I need this start to be sloped a bit. Okay, that's still dropping too much. I mean, like, I know it's a bowling ball, but they still technically fall the same speed. It's hilarious, because this one here is the one time that wind resistance is actually going to be important. Because of the beach ball of all things. Also, how can I, as a woman, voice crack like that? Like, good lord. Also, everyone who's watching stream right now, I want you to take a drink of water. If you can. Not soda, like, not tea and coffee, just straight water. Okay, and that also still needs to be scaled up. Okay. Does this need to be scaled? Okay, it's a bit better. And then this one I'll just right here and let's get these. Alright. How do what do I think I need one more, just very minimal bounce to this one. And this is just for the feel at this point. It just mirrors this centered. Yeah, it was just very minimally. There we go. Do I want to make these vectored? Yes, because that makes my life a little bit easier. So those bounce fairly accurately. Yeah. So the next easiest one to do would be, I think it's actually this bowling ball here. Because I am not looking forward to doing whatever the fuck with the beach ball. Because that thing is just floating. Right. So this would land a couple frames sooner. Just because it's slow. Make sure it's in pose mode this time. Here. Yeah. So now, if I do that, I can see exactly what this is doing. I am going to have to have the x-axis open for this one. Just looking at the reference. Wait, does he have them all hit at the same time? Surely not. Okay, I'm gonna save an incremental for this one. And I'm going to open a separate blend file for this one. I'm assuming it will let me do this at least. Come on, Blender, sometime today would be nice. I need to figure out why it's doing this. I did say at some point that I was going to switch to Linux instead of Windows for this, but we'll see. Go to rendering and open up. Where is my... practice? There we go. So if I... Wait, did this not save the... Oh my god, it literally only saved the first frame. Bruh. Yes. I just want it to do the thing. Although, to be... Okay, so my point is, and I'm going to have to really examine this, I'm 90% certain these all make contact on the same frame. So, like, these two here hit at the exact same time. And correct me if I'm wrong, chat, that's not supposed to happen, is it? Because, like, I know the bowling ball's heavier and all that, but there's no air resistance in this case. And if you look over here, these two hit at the same time as well. But I'm pretty sure this thing is supposed to make contact slightly sooner than the other ones because of the slope. So, I don't know if I have failed physics class at some point or if the instructor got it wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's supposed to hit, like, at least 1, if not 2 frames earlier. Just set this one to vector. Only that one, thanks. This one's thanks. Make sure this is falling at roughly similar rate. If in a vacuum, all would hit the ground at the same time, excluding the ramp. Yeah, that was exactly my point. Also, that is hitting way too soon. The problem is, it doesn't seem that this one is, like... Correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems off now that you point that out. Because, on one hand, I assume to be pseudo-basketball or dodgeball or whatever, is falling at the same rate as the bowling balls. Which is fine if it was in a vacuum. But this one here is obeying what seems to be air resistance. So, what's the go here? Are they obeying air resistance or are they not obeying air resistance? It might be the idea is like, oh, they're all the same size, so they should have similar air resistance values. Okay, that... Okay, I'm gonna shift this over 1 frame, I think. I feel like that'd be the most appropriate here. Off this, there should be air resistance and friction. Yeah. Like, that was exactly what I was thinking. But at the same time, I'm also not doing a whole-ass physics simulation. Like, I'm not doing a whole-ass physics simulation by hand. I'm sorry, but I value my mental health most part. Because bowling ball also stops while hitting the last one. Stops a while after hitting the last one, yeah. It's the same for the other animation as well, too. And by other animation, I mean the second one that I was doing. I think this one actually needs to be... Okay, too much. Like, the friction is already implied for the other animations. It's just this one because of the whole beach ball thing. That's why I was just a little bit confused. I mean, I would get the instructor in to ask him, but at the same time, he's probably got better things to be doing with his time than attempting to help me in this case. Because I mean, like, I know he goes through like dozens of videos a day. Like, I really don't want to be taking that much time off them, you know? I'm gonna start calculating these. What the hell? Why is there a... What? Anyways. So it's 2... Okay, probably a bit too high and a little bit too far. So, this back one, and this one, I shall move backward. What's the angle of the ramp? That looks to be 45 degrees. I'll have a look. Other way around. Yeah, that looks to be a 45-degree angled ramp. Those. Wait, is there a keyframe in here? It's not in the... That's only supposed to be there if it's in the same position as last frame, like this little yellow bar here. Why is this here? again, I feel like that is still a bit too far because that jump doesn't bounce that far. Or does it? It does bounce a bit, but it doesn't bounce that far from the looks of it. One of these must be off. Okay, no, I think having the two of them there was the extra keyframe was in my best interest. Oh my god, the My Hero Academia voice actors playing FNAF 2 are fucking hilarious. Really? It's so unhinged. I haven't seen like a truly unhinged FNAF playthrough since 5 Drunk Guys played it. I can set that one to 0. I can send you the video? Yeah, sure thing. Good to see that Nightbot's finally doing its job instead of harassing the stream members. I was getting a little upset at that. These ones also set them to... Nightbot actually doing his job? That's crazy. Yeah, it really is. I guess threatening to make Nightbot homeless really did work, huh? So go to rank 30. This is probably way too fast for the time being, but whatever. Nightbot, you silly? Yeah, for real. Like, that's wild, isn't it? Nightbot actually doing its goddamn job. As opposed to just yelling at people because they were using maybe one too many emojis. It doesn't. Why is that? Nightbot be unhinged as well, apparently. Why is Nightbot being unhinged? What did Nightbot do this time? There we go. Okay, so that can be a bit slower now. Okay, maybe even a smidge slower. when it bonks people for certain things that don't make sense. Yeah, I think originally I had the Nightbot set to not like people using a whole bunch of emotes, but like when I realize now that its maximum is 3, like that's wild. Like, come on, Nightbot. 3 is not that many emojis to be putting in chat. Okay, that's too much now. Now, something I can do is I can actually hang this in the air for slightly longer if need be. Or actually, probably what is a better idea is to make this here slightly quicker. Six would be more like it. Max is 3, brother. That is like nothing. 6, yeah. Like, I get the intention. However, it's like not really all that useful, you know? Okay. Nightbot is on some shit for real. Interesting. It is not. Is it because this particular one's hooked to X instead of Z? It is not because of that. Okay, other way. And then that one wants to be slightly faster in that case. So if I play this now... That's probably a bit too fast, actually. I don't know why, but I always seem to make the animations far faster than they really need to be. Time is different. Maybe movement here needs to be a bit more. Whoever works on Nightbot and saw some kid send 3 emotes at once and said, yeah, now that is spam, really needs to consider the definition of spam. I mean, spam in the traditional sense of the word is basically just like any message content that's unwanted. So like this guy just really fucking hate emotes for all we know. Like that just could be the case. Apparently, lol. Yeah, like as somebody who has been through the worst of moderation, 3 emotes is sweet fuck all. Yeah, unfortunately clips in on that side. Also, I feel like this just continues accelerating. If anything, this should be... 3 emotes is nothing compared to the 8-year-olds that literally spam 20 different emotes at once. Yeah, exactly. And, like, even then, emote spam is, like, a core part of the way Twitch is, especially if it's, like, you know, whole brain power, or if there's, like, emote-only mode and all that sort of stuff. Like, at that point, why would you moderate only 3 emotes? Like, YouTube side I understand, but Twitch side is just a bit strange. Yeah, exactly. Like, if anything, this should probably go a bit further. Yeah, it just feels like it's going way too fast. Like, if anything, it should actually almost just be straight on. Okay. This is... Okay, now this can go up. The timing of the night bot popping up right after I send the 3 emotes is hysterical. Yeah, like, that's pretty unintentional. Like, the settings that I put on, it's quite obvious. It's like, I think it's 10 minutes and at least 5 messages before it sends out that particular command. But, yeah, that's pretty amusing. So that does that. And then... actually goes a bit further than that. Problem is, like, I want to try and keep the angle of this. I think that's the correct angle. So now if I up that path, and yet somehow I managed to miss this one. No, it knows we're talking about it. Yeah, AI is getting wild these days, huh? Okay, what is still marked on frame 35? Shit. Oh wait, I forgot to update paths. Why am I like this? Okay, I think the easiest way to deal with this particular one is just have it moved over slightly. Like, I think the movement of this one here is fine. And then when it contacts this one, so I'll just move this. So it is... this should the same here, so copy that, and then dang it, I accidentally said Control C instead of Control V. Really? Right, okay. Alright, now. Oh, interesting. It decided that it wanted to be weird. Why is this? Why is there an x-axis marker on this one? Delete those, please. So then here it starts with so then from this frame it really severely slows down and this one starts moving. So yeah, okay. But I just wanted this one, thanks. Yeah. This one I should yeah. And now I can just move this one to the center position. So it contacts there, and then it slows to a stop. Okay, a little bit easier than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to require much more finagling. You know what the worst part is, chat? I still need to animate the roll for this, because guess what? I've still not been given a driver for this to be auto-rotated. I still need to rotate each and every single one of these as required. So then, this one here, and then free handle type. Cards. Okay, let's drag this a little bit. Why? Let's try that. It rolls back slightly. What am I doing? Needs to roll to a stop. there a frame it for? Whose frame is this? Anyway. Align those. Alright. So that. Okay, now this needs to be lowered quite a bit. So I want to make this really nice and slow. Is that too much? Scale that out. Okay. Go. What is this intense ass music that I'm right now? Yeah, I think I've got it. Maybe a little bit better. So it knocks into that. So this one doesn't need to move nearly as quickly. Make it so that needs to go further. It really needs to go further along here. Go frame 50 for now. Okay, that's a little bit too much. This one. There's a frame of 41, but I think that's just the Z-axis frame. That bounces. And that actually rolls off screen, so that makes my life slightly easier. Okay then, fuck off. Okay, that goes off like a bullet. Don't really want to do that. Please. That. Cards. Can we even scale this? Probably slows down a bit too much. That. Down. Okay, maybe just a little less. So if I play this now, that first bowling ball could slow down over a slightly longer period of time. But the one on the right getting launched off screen is kind of amusing. Do I maybe want to zoom this out a bit? Possibly. Can I even move the camera? It seems I cannot move it, like I can't zoom it out for some reason. Can I not select the camera? I should be able to. Nothing in here saying that I can't. Where is it anyway? Can't tell me it's 50 million miles away. Huh? There we go. Shit, going. Oh, I know why. It's because it's an orthographic view. If I want to mess around with this thing, I'm going to have to change it in... Where is it? This setting. So the orthographic setting is roughly around about 13, maybe? Not 130, just 13 is fine, thanks. Yeah, that's why I couldn't zoom it out. It's because the camera is an orthographic and not perspective view. Alright, so... maybe even further. Y slightly and cards on it. So that gets launched off screen. I think that looks a lot smoother. Does that slow down before it makes contact? Slightly, but not very much. So much so that I'm not even worried about adding that in. Alright, I suppose now it's time to tackle the elephant in the room here. Which being this thing. So this one falls a lot slower than everything else. And it also bounces a lot higher than everything else. Actually, no, it doesn't. It bounces the same height as this thing. Yeah, that's a 40% bounce height. Okay, but it does fall a lot slower. Make sure we're in pose mode for this. Wait a minute. Okay, I just didn't have the half of this one. There we go. And this one, I'm just going to make the path be around the frame. Alright, time to sort out this thing. Making good time. It's been an hour and a half and I'm like almost, well, I wouldn't say done with this animation, but fairly close. Like, for somebody who's basically just starting out on animation, I'm making pretty decent headway. I'd say probably... I want to say 16 frames for this one. Or do I want to make the size? Even slower than that, 20 frames? I'm gonna say 20 frames for this one. So, Alt-G. So the startup for this one's really slow. Like, really, really slow, actually. And then... I think maybe 10. Which will give it 9 frames either way. Is that about 40%? So it still does the thing down the bottom here with the vector handles, but probably less so. And then G. Yeah, and then that doesn't interact with volume whatsoever. And this one probably. That. So the arcs for the tops of this is probably going to be quite large. And start deleting all of these actually. So I only have the frames here. In fact, I should probably clear them out for all of these. So that doesn't need to be there. Now this one I need to go into both these actually. So these don't need to exist. Same with that one. Yeah, so there's no need for Z frames on this one. That's correct. And then the first couple of frames here. Actually, I do need to keep the X frames on that one, and the reason I say is because if I don't keep the X frames, it's just gonna start teleporting around. This one, there is actually a need for the X frame here, but the Z frames at the end. Z frames are not required in this case. So this one here, that is a handle. So it's just this one I need to get rid of? Yeah. Alright, cool. Clean that up. I think that's fairly realistic for what a beach ball is like, although I feel like it should hang for a bit longer. Yeah, I feel like this needs to be a bit wider. Like, it really needs to extend at this point. Okay, that's not the way to do it, apparently. What if I G and see these down? Scale these in the X. Okay, it's acting too much like a regular ball and not enough like a beach ball. Like, I think it needs to have a lot more frames. Do 3 each side. Like, it really needs to stay in the air. It's not floating. Okay, it's almost there. Like, this is a really weird one to try and finagle. Like, it needs to float up in the air, but the fall off needs to not be sharp. In fact, I'd almost venture to say that these are actually curved handles and not vector ones. Would be my guess. So also, the worst part is once it actually bounces for the first time, it also very slightly drifts off to the side. So I need to remember to take that into account. Does it drift off to the side on the way down? No, it's just when it hits the floor. But if I put any more frames of animations, let's try it at least. So I do this now. That almost works. It's like it falls in really slow motion. Do I have any other modes available to me? I suppose I do have easing options. I don't see how any of these would help though. Like obviously I've got these sorts of things. Maybe. Hey, this is gonna be a bit silly, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay, no, it doesn't help me at all. I need to completely rethink this vector handle thing for this particular ball. If I scale this all the way out, it doesn't really help in this case. Like, how many frames am I putting in between these at this point? So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 frames each side just to do this, and it still feels too fast. Alright, let's just really go hog wild on this. Let's add another 8 frames between each of these. Like, really make it go. So what frames is this going to be? It's like frame almost 30 for this thing. It's on frame 15 for this one. Nothing here. Weird. Okay, that can go then. I said it can go then. Yeah, so I like really need to space these out. Make this 25 then. Alright, somewhere with that. Okay, cool. I think I can probably get away with having one less frame in between these. Yeah, okay. So this bouncing system is just ultra slow. And I can work with that, I think. So I'd say between these ones, just give it like 12. Even then, it's like, how many frames is this? It's like 130. That's not a lot. Also, I'm pretty sure this is off-center now. Yep, I was right. Okay, but that still feels off-centered. Oh, these are in different positions. Yeah, these are like in vastly different positions. Alright, scale this out. And grab these two. Let's see how it works. Okay, it's a start. Yeah, so it has like 3 more bounces after this. So I'd probably say that these need to be slightly shorter still. Take 2 frames off these now. Okay. And then this one needs to be even shorter than that. Nope, just that one, thanks. G. Make sure this is vectored. Not all of them, just that one, thanks. Also, get rid of the X, it's being in the way. Okay. A little bit better. Yeah, I'm like taking too long on this. Like the actual initial fall is fine. But I still feel like this entire lot here, while it is fine initially looking at it, it still feels like it's taking too long compared to the initial source material. And that annoys me. Okay, I'm going to set this to 150 frames. I keep forgetting to get rid of that one. Like whenever I go to mess about with these. I think. Well, I don't. I don't think at all. That's the problem with these animations. I just don't. I have no brain cells behind these eyes. I can promise you that much, chat. Okay. Let's go. 3, 4, 4, G. Grab this one. Let's go all the way down. So that. And then just go for 160. Yeah, I feel like it's just still taking far too long. Because, like, all the action, by the time that this is, like, halfway through this bounce, the action's already stopped. Like, is the bouncing far too fast for what I'm trying to do? It shouldn't be. So that still tells me that this animation here with the beach ball is taking way too long. I'm gonna say drop it down to 20 frames instead. Because, like, I'm looking at this, right? I keep right-clicking thinking I can pause it. But it doesn't really land till, like, around about frame 25 to 28. And then it just stays up in the air for an egregious amount of time. So, I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing. Maybe these ones are still... These ones could still be too much. Let's try bringing all this down by 1 frame. Let's try this. Yeah, it's still taking like way too long for my taste. Because by the time that this animation should be over, this, like, it should only, like, really have, like, 2 more bounces. Like, it should be these last ones here by the time this one's finished. Like, this one left. So by the time this one here is done, also I need to remember not to use the annotation tool in this mode. So by the time this one here is finished, this one here should have at maximum like the last 2 bounces left. So this one, like even removing all of these keyframes here, I also need to keep this thing in mind too. This bowling ball here. In fact, come to think of it, that bowling ball makes contact by the time that hits the top of its arc. So this is actually falling too slowly now. How should I move that by 1, 2, 3? Yeah. Let's try 4. Okay, now that feels like it's not staying in the air long enough. It's like falling down too sharply. So the question is, how do I fix that so it stops that doing that at least? I could just grab these and make the sharpness of the bounce basically non-existent. Maybe scale these down a bit. So I think it's 140 frames. Like, I want there to obviously be like a few seconds. Well, I say a few seconds, a few frames at the end where the animation finishes, you know it's finished, and then it goes back around. So, all these by 2 maybe. These by 1. Also, the dog is pitter-pattering in the hallway, and she should know that it's not dinner time yet. She's just going at it. Don't worry, chat. She will be fed after the stream ends. She might say that she doesn't get fed, but I can promise you, she does. Why? I probably need to scale this down. Yeah, so these definitely need to be scaled. Okay, now there's some really janky stuff going on with the bottoms of these. Oh, good lord, what have I done? So, like, there needs to be a lot here, too. Like, a lot near the bottom. So I wonder if I... Okay, that just really bounces it. I don't want it to do that. So, how do I fix this animation? So this contact frame here, I need to calculate around the frame. So that should not be there. So if I drag these all the way down, going through the floor, it's just gonna create a problem. What did I just... Oh, I selected all of them, so it shows... Okay. That's a thing I can do, apparently. Did not realize that was a thing that I could do. Spooked me, but we're good. Alright, so... So even if I drag all this down, I feel like it's not going to be helpful, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, it feels like the only way to really go about this is to just have more frames in between. And the downturn is too sharp. Darn it. I was really hoping to have this be done in like a reasonable amount of frames. I could probably add a few more to this slot. Like one on each side at most, but then that only gives me like 10 frames. Yeah, it's like 1, 2... Like, I have a Jessie. Aw, Jessie. But like, even only having 4 bounces as opposed to 5 at the end, it still doesn't sit right. Darn. Darn it, and darn it again. Like, how am I supposed to get this to work properly when it just refuses to want to work properly? The only other option maybe is to lower the overall bounce height. Oh, it does bounce lower, actually. No, that thing bounces lower. That bounces at 30% the height. So all of these need to be moved down now. That. Is this off-centered again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, it's off-centered again. Also, somebody is feeding her, even though it is not time for her to be fed yet. Good lord, why does nobody in this family adhere to the rules? I swear to Christ. So I think I might get rid of these last two here. Actually, just these two. I made a thing with only extreme cheating. What do you mean by extreme cheating? What do you mean by that, Likely? What do you mean extreme cheating? I put it in art? What did you do? What abomination have you created? I'm going to assume you did a physics simulation for that one. Because like, I'm looking at this looks like a physics simulation. Also, that's probably going to be like the jankiest rendition of that course. Yeah, as it should be for this. The problem with this is not the fact that I'm doing a physics simulation, is that I'm trying to develop an eye for animation. Eyes, which, might I remind everyone in chat, are severely broken. Like, severely broken. Also, come to think of it, I'm just going to have a quick look at this again. Oh yeah, you've been... Okay, the only note that I have for that simulation is that the second ball, this blue one here, is more of a basketball or a dodgeball rather than a bowling ball, like the rest of these are. Like these two red ones are. But yeah, that's like far more accurate than whatever the hell I'm doing here is. The problem is, like, my ability to time stuff is just so off. Like, severely so. Okay. Yeah, so if anyone wants to complain about me trying to do physics animation by hand, go and find Wayne Dixon. He's the reason why I'm doing this. So I think realistically, I want to have this finish at frame 110. So just chop one off of everything. Probably get me to where I need to be. There we go. Okay, I think that's as close as I'm going to get in terms of timing. I just really want to make the note on each of these just a bit better. dropping way too quickly. These down. In fact, I'd even go as far as to pull them down to the subsequent ones. And then this one I probably need to scale this back. Just a smidge. Hello and goodbye. I can't stand these goddamn bots. Also, I know it's technically not a swear word, but being of the British English variety, that username is technically inappropriate. Okay, it's still too sharp. No. Just the second part by itself is technically inappropriate. But yeah, you are right. There is no rules for that particular word, huh? I'm gonna scale these two a bit. And these ones as well. I think the end ones are fine. It's just the middle two that were like the two main bounces. I wonder how I'm going to sort this thing. You know what the silliest part about all of this? I am doing all of this, like, physics stuff, like, all of this animation above, just so I can make what is essentially 3 Minecraft shitposts, is what I'm doing all of this work for. And I can promise you, the day that it comes out, you will probably realize that all this was not worth it. Fix it. I love how, in the time that I'm trying to fix all of this, like, too sharp bounce thing that's going on here, you've already fixed the physics simulation. Well, as long as you're having fun, I suppose. Let me know what you think. Okay, sure. Let's pull this up. Okay, you know what? I can't even be mad. That's funny. Where's the laminated paper noise when you need it? Because this is exactly what it feels like. Oh, that's great. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate it. Yeah, like physics simulations be like. If I update this, I feel like that's probably too sharp. Actually, no, it's not. It's need to make this a bit thinner. Okay, it's like almost there. It's just getting, it's like trying to remove the sharpness from these ones. I think it might be because these ones on the other side are too much. Okay, it's too sharp. I scale these out. Yeah, okay, so I just need to make sure I have them scaled in a bit once I move them. Okay, yeah. It's just having all of these points here just scale with them. This one. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I might have to tweak it a bit off stream, but hopefully tomorrow I should have something other than trying to simulate physics. Would be a great start. Hopefully from tomorrow I should be doing what is essentially character animation at that point. Anyway, I think I will end off. Do I have anything to say? Again, like, I really should change my stream time because, like, there's just copious amounts of Korean and Japanese streamers, and while, like, there's nothing wrong with it, and I do like watching art streams of any variety, I feel like it would probably help if we could, you know, communicate properly so I don't accidentally overstep something, you know? So, actually, I'm going to check on Twitch proper and see if there is anyone I know who's streaming. There is not. Done. Okay. I shall see y'all tomorrow, where hopefully I'll be doing what is essentially actual character animation as opposed to breaking my head over physics simulations.